You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Brendan All In Allen takes on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez this Saturday in the co-main event of UFC Fight Night Seattle. And this is a 3-round fight at middleweight. I wish it was 5, only 3, which sucks, but it is what it is. 2 very high-level middleweights. Brendan Allen, been in the UFC for a while now. He's been in the UFC since 2019, coming off the Contender Series. Anthony Hernandez been in there since also, or 2018, coming off the Contender Series. Anthony Hernandez, 13-2 record, very good record. 31 years old, 6 foot, 75-inch reach. Guy's an absolute dog. I would call him pressure personified. Very good dirty boxing, very good forward pressure, just kind of relentless with his striking. And takedown attack. He's got an endless gas tank. His nickname's Fluffy just because he carries a little fluff. Not the most shredded up dude from middleweight, but I feel like that serves him well. He's not having doesn't have tons of muscle to carry around, not making the biggest weight cuts, so it really helps him to push a very high pace and have a very good, probably the best cardio, I would say, at middleweight. So mixes his striking in very well with his takedowns, just constantly giving you something to have to work against, whether it's his striking, he carries power, or his takedowns that are just going to come all night until he gets them. Throws very heavy hands to close the distance, kind of to push you against the cage and get his takedown. So if you don't have decent cardio or decent takedown defense, you're going to have a lot of trouble against Anthony Hernandez. He's coming off of a very impressive win over Michel Pereira in a 5-round main event. Was getting kind of tagged in the first round, but then ended up getting his takedown at the end. And then Michel Pereira just really didn't have anything after that. He just kept taking him down, beating him up. Finally got the, I think it was a TKO. Yeah, TKO in round 5. Before that, fought Roman Kopylov, kind of the same story. Was standing in there with him on the feet in round 1. Round 2 eventually got the takedown, got the rear naked choke. Same story again, kind of rinse and repeat with his career. Edmen Shahbazyan was kind of taking some damage on the feet, eventually got the takedown and ground and pounded him out. Edmen Shahbazyan had nothing left in round 3, was just completely dead from the scrambles, defending the takedowns, defending the submission attempts. Put up a hell of a fight, but at the end just kind of succumbed to the pressure and fighting style of Anthony Hernandez, which is just extremely hard to deal with. Marc-Andre Barriault, submission. Josh Frim, decision. Adolfo Vieira, this is the one that really kind of put him on the map. Was going back and forth with Vieira and just ended up wearing him out. Vieira had nothing left in the tank, and he ended up pulling an arm-in guillotine, which is kind of his signature move. You'll see that where he's from Turtle. He'll wrap the arm in, stick the knee in, and throw the leg over and go for that arm-in guillotine. We saw him do that over and over against Edmen Shahbazyan, with no success in it, but had him constantly having to defend and fight out of submission attempts, which eventually just emptied the gas tank. So did lose to Kevin Holland, but I mean that was almost 5 years ago. So since then he's been on 6-fight winning streak, a lot of finishes, almost all finishes other than that one against Josh Frim. Brendan Allen, that's his name. 24-6 record, very good record. 29 years old, 6'2", also a 75-inch reach. Very good jiu-jitsu, I would say, very technical on the ground. Really good kickboxer, decent striking, good kicks, shoots good takedowns. Polished striker on the feet, carries good power. But I feel like he's not the best on the feet, as we saw with his fight against Imavov, and can suffer cardio issues as well, which is a concern for him in this fight. He did kind of gas out in the Imavov fight and the Chris Curtis fight, his 2 most recent performances. So I got to go with Anthony Hernandez in this one. I just got to go with the guy with the endless gas tank, the guy who's going to be constantly pushing forward and putting it on you, giving you something to have to defend against. He's got decent striking, enough to keep Brendan Allen on notice, do a little damage on the feet, open up his takedowns, and just make him work the entire time. It is only 3 rounds, so I do think that there's a chance that Brendan Allen can win the fight, considering he doesn't have to worry about championship level rounds and keep his cardio for those. But I do think that Fluffy will still kind of take him into deep water. I think the first round will be very telling. If Fluffy wins the first round, I think it's game over. I think the fight is his. If he loses or if it's competitive, I think that Brendan Allen could still stick it out for another round, maybe win 2-1. But I think Anthony, even if he's not landing tons of damage or getting the sub, I think he's going to be doing enough and making Brendan Allen work enough to win the rounds, or to eventually kind of beat him up enough and beat him down enough to get the submission finally. I think he'll tire Allen out, deplete his gas tank, and which would start opening up his strikes and his wrestling and his takedowns. So it's similar to some, I would say, to somebody facing Merab. He might spend the first round or two doing well, defending the takedowns, doing damage on the feet, but eventually you're not going to be able to keep up that pace as long as he is. He's going to outlast you. So it's either got to put him away in the first few rounds, or you're in for a rough night in rounds 4 and 5 when he's only getting better. He's one of those guys, and the same with Anthony Hernandez. They only get better and stronger as the fight goes on, as their opponents are getting weaker and weaker. I just think Fluffy, he has the will to win. I don't think Allen will put anything out there on the feet to kind of keep Anthony Hernandez back and from, throwing his own big punches, crashing in and looking for takedowns. So these guys have actually fought before. I saw that one doing my research. They fought back, I think it was, when was this? They fought back in 2018. January 2018, so 7 years ago they fought in LFA for a title, and it was a 5-round fight, and it went pretty much exactly how I just predicted it would go. A lot of scrambles. It was a very high-paced fight, but Fluffy Hernandez was getting the better of the positions, the better of the scrambles, and ended up winning a decision, and that's kind of how I see this one going. I don't think he's going to have enough time to finish Brendan Allen. I don't think he'll finish him with strikes. If anything, it's going to be a submission. I do think he'll do enough to win the scrambles and stay on top and do damage. I don't think he'll tire Brendan Allen out enough to get the sub. I don't think he would get it if they're both fresh either. So I see Anthony Hernandez pushing a pace, winning the scrambles, damaging him on the feet, and just overall kind of controlling the fight and getting the better of the striking and of the grappling to win a decision in this one. So let me know what you guys think. Brendan Allen plus 225 over Anthony Hernandez, who is minus 285. So I do feel like Fluffy, he's a very good fighter, but he weaponizes that cardio. I just probably not as good, but maybe almost as good as Merab Dvalishvili. So I think that's what he'll do to win this fight, using his wrestling and his submission threat, and just constantly keeping Brendan Allen on the defensive the entire fight to where he can't get any offense going. So I got Anthony Hernandez by decision. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks.